Hi, thank you for visiting the Awakening Movement channel again. I appreciate your support. Today, my goal is to give you a lucid dreaming induction technique. Now, there are several lucid dreaming induction techniques. Lots of individuals have kind of come together and brainstorm different types of methods to induce a lucid dream. I'm going to have a video for each of the ones that I've practiced and I've yielded results from. So this initial video is based off of the M.I.L.D technique. Now, the M.I.L.D technique is essentially a technique created by Stephen LaBerge. He is someone that I've talked about in a previous video he actually created his dissertation around this particular technique. Now, what M.I.L.D stands for is Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreaming. And like I said, it was developed by Stephen LaBerge in the 1980s, and it is a proven technique to reliably induce lucid dreams. What I like about this technique is, again, it goes back to that proven, that scientific information where it has been validated. It's not just something that he created one day and then he was telling everyone it worked. No, it has been scientifically proven to induce lucid dreams in dreaming laboratories, which is amazing, right? Like, we can scientifically prove this stuff. Like, there is validity to it. So for me, in my logical brain, that is amazing. We have proof. So for your skeptics out there, give this one a shot and read the research behind it too. I think it could actually really help. So what is the M.I.L.D technique? So essentially, the M.I.L.D technique stands, like I said, for Mnemonic Induction of Lucid Dreaming, and it uses the power of prospective memory. So what is prospective memory? Well, prospective memory, there are several kinds of memory, but prospective memory specifically is memory that helps us to remember to do things. I like to call it my post-it note memory. It's the kind of memory that will help you to remember that you have an appointment at 3 o'clock on Thursday. Or it's the kind of memory that helps you remember to pick up that oat milk next time you go to Sprouts. It is the memory that helps you. It's just like you write it down on the post-it note, bam, put it on the mental refrigerator, and you come back to it. So it is a powerful tool that we use, and it's a skill that we already have. And the great part about the M.I.L.D technique is that it's working off of what we already have. So we can redirect that prospective memory to inducing a lucid dream. And here's how it works. So M.I.L.D, the M.I.L.D technique, has 3 R's. The first R is Rescript, second R is Rehearse, and the last R is Remind. So the first R, Rescripting, is exactly as it sounds. You're going to either remember a dream you just had. Maybe this can be happening at night when you wake up from a dream, or you can be also waking up but not able to recall that dream, and you happen to recall a dream that you've had in the past where you did not become lucid. So in that dream, what you will do is you will rescript how it took place. Essentially, you're going to choose a point in a dream where you come into contact with a dream sign. I've discussed this in a past video, my first video. If you want, you can reference that one to know what I'm talking about. But essentially, just a quick recap, you journal your dreams after you have them. You start to go back maybe a week after journaling, 2 weeks, a month, whatever it is, and you start to read through the dreams and start to realize that there are dream signs, there are patterns in your dream. And those dream signs tend to be pretty recurrent. They come around in your dreams. They could be happening in the background. But an example would be like, a dream sign would be you have a deceased grandfather, and he's obviously not with us anymore in waking reality. However, in your dream state, grandpa seems to be there all the time. So with that, grandpa is in your dream. That is a dream sign. He is talking to you. Grandpa is no longer alive, so grandpa is now a dream sign. So you can go back to that point in the dream where you came across the dream sign, and then you can rescript the dream to make it to now you've become aware that you're dreaming in the dream, and change that whole that whole script of how the dream took place into a new way for it to take place. So you're using that imagination, right? You're rescripting. And then you imagine yourself, well, you imagine goes into rehearsing, but you imagine yourself to that you became aware in the dream, whether it be a dream, a reality check, or you had a dream sign, you have become aware. And that now goes into rehearse. So the rehearsing portion of this dream, of this technique, is where you are now using, and you may have already been doing this, your imagination to recreate every single detail that took place after you've rescripted your dream to the point where you've become aware. So you're using your imagination to really, really live that experience of the rescripted dream where you've become aware that you're dreaming. And I want you to become super creative with this. I want you to really think about what would happen in this dream had I become aware. How would the events of this dream have unfolded if I became aware? And think of the colors and the detail and what the experience would have been like, and try to feel into that. Really try to allow yourself to feel into that moment of I'm aware, and what does that feel like? And then with that, we go on to remind. And the remind portion is the prospective memory portion of the M.I.L.D technique. That is where you are going to remind yourself, after you've rescripted and rehearsed, that the next time that you are dreaming, that you will recognize the dream sign or whatever the pattern is, and I will become lucid. And this is kind of like a silent mantra. It doesn't have to be exactly what I just said. You can actually just create any mantra you want. It can be anything, really. It could be anything that you think you'll remember in whatever language, in whatever verbiage. But the point is the remind portion is tying into intention, right? And the intention to become lucid. Use what you have, your prospective memory, to become lucid in a dream, to induce a dream. And you can repeat that over and over and over and over until you fall asleep. Now, you kind of ask yourself next, well, what I did at least when I started lucid dreaming and practicing these techniques, is when am I supposed to do this? Well, you can do it. Stephen LaBerge suggests that it is best to practice this technique when you wake up in between dreams at night. Now, for some of us that happens now, and for some of the others that doesn't really happen. We don't really wake up, or maybe we wake up and we don't remember. If we wake up and we don't remember, you can always recall another dream you had and work on the 3 R's, the rescript, rehearse, remind. Rescript, rehearse, remind, right? And if you do remember your dream, then work on the dream you just had. So that's a time that you can practice it, and your ability to lucid dream, induce that dream, explodes. It's like an exponential growth of from practicing it during the day versus practicing it at night when you sleep. But that does not mean that you cannot practice it during the day. You can practice this at any time, because really, when you become someone who is an avid lucid dreamer or who has the intention to develop that skill, lucid dreaming, just like any other spiritual practice you engage in, becomes a way of life. It becomes how you live. You can practice this technique on your lunch break at work, or when you're using the restroom, or when you're on a 10-minute break. You can, throughout the day, let's say you take a break and it's lunchtime, you can check in with yourself and you can do your reality check and ask yourself, am I dreaming? And then say your mantra. Tonight, when I am dreaming, I will recognize I'm dreaming and I will become lucid. Tonight, when I'm dreaming, I will recognize I'm dreaming and I will become lucid. Tonight, when I'm dreaming, I will recognize that I'm dreaming and become lucid. And 2-3 times, how many times you want to say it. If you want to say it 100 times, go for it. The more, the better. It's that prospective memory. We're gonna remind ourselves. So you can say that internally or out loud, however is best for you in your particular situation. And then you can also, when you're on the toilet, you can go to the bathroom and do the 3 R's, rescript a dream, rehearse the dream, and remind yourself. And just do that periodically every maybe 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. It takes the intention, you have to will it. And if you don't remember, don't beat yourself up, because we don't do that, right? We don't beat on ourselves. you're like, oh, today I only did it once. It's fine. That's one more time than you've ever done it before. So don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay. It'll eventually grow. And if you do remember it 20 times, great. Now you're getting even closer. And if you don't have a lucid dream that night, don't feel discouraged. Sometimes it can take a month, it can take 2 months. It can vary depending on the individual and your stress levels and your sleep patterns and what are you eating before bed. And there's a lot of things that play into it, and I'll discuss that in other videos. But just don't be hard on yourself. Keep trying. Trust me, it will happen. If it happens once, that is the miracle. And once it happens, you will forever be changed. I've had that experience. It has forever changed me. It's a superpower. It's a superpower. We don't grow up learning these things in school. No one teaches us that you have this amazing ability to become aware in your dreams. And we don't talk about the benefits of such a practice that is so it's available to anybody. Doesn't matter how rich, how poor, what ethnic background you come from, you can do this. Anyone can do this. It's just a matter of will, like everything else in this reality that we live in, right? It's a matter of will and willing it. I am living proof of it, and there are thousands of other people who have done it. I am not unique. It is something that we can all do. So once you have it, it'll change forever. And I do want to add this note too, going back to the rehearsing portion of the M.I.L.D technique. When you become lucid, reality is our waking reality. It becomes kind of like dwarfed by the realism in your dreams. When you become aware in your dream, everything becomes so much more deeper and intensified. Colors are richer, details are richer. The sense of just being alive in your body, just feeling the life in you is different. All of it changes. So when you're thinking of rehearsing that dream or imagining, right? You really go out there, make the violets very violet, make those reds really deep, make those maroons rich like wine, like really play with it. This is your imagination. Get comfortable in your visualization, your ability to create and imagine. Really feel it. It'll help. So that is the M.I.L.D technique. Again, we are rescripting, rehearsing, and reminding, and doing those throughout our day, when we wake up from rest, at any time, but just making it a way of life. I will be uploading other techniques. Each individual video will be dedicated to each technique, and I hope that someone out there tries this technique out and becomes lucid. And if you do, please leave me a comment and let me know that you became lucid. I feel so passionately about lucid dreaming. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and now I feel well enough to come out onto YouTube and to talk about my practice. It is time, and I really want to be able to reach other people to have this experience. I would love to hear about your experience. So if you do watch this video and become lucid, let me know, comment. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And please, if you can, if you know anyone would be interested, share my videos. This is truly my passion. Like I've said before, I do have a career that I have, and I love my career as well. And on that same thread, this is like, I get super excited for this stuff. I mean, I read tons and tons of books about this, and I've had the experience myself, and it just lights me up. So I'm truly doing what I love here. So more power to you. I wish you all an amazing, amazing day. I am in gratitude for you taking the time from your day or night to, or evening to, or morning to watch my video. And I wish you all deep, restful sleep and very vivid, lucid dreams. And with that, I say thank you, and we will be in contact over video very soon.